Do we have LaRussell on a podcast talking about Lil Wayne? I think is where we should start.
I had a moment in my journey where I had grew a disdain for Wayne just because I started listening to everything. Like, I started maturing as a human, and I'm like, damn, this nigga wasn't talking about nothing for a long time. And
I
like,
think that's
you.
what
I
his
heard
argument
about that.
was.
you know, like as someone who like grew up in these communities,
Right.
and grew up with homies who I seen want to be bloods because they following Wayne and want to be gangster and want to shoot all the gun bar and shit.
Right.
Like, I've seen the negative that he contributed to the community, and I had to look like, man, what are the songs where he really talked about something and gave? And out of a 1,000-song catalog, you know, it's minute on this end.
It's like Georgia Bush.
And
Right.
that do bother me. Tie My Hands.
That's
One
what I
of
was
the
going to
greatest
say.
records
Tie
that-
My Hands
right?
is the only one
and
I
that,
can think of.
and that's the thing. It's like, if I hug you once, but I slap the shit out you 1,000 times, you know, your affinity for me is going. You're probably gonna remember me for
Right.
this.
Now a lot of people have problems with that. What LaRussell said there, and I get it because people are fans of Lil Wayne. And Lil Wayne is one of the GOATs, one of the icons. But I also don't think it's that problematic. I've watched that like 3 times now, and I'm like, what are people actually so upset about?
It's his personal opinion. Because, Ebro, anytime someone has something to say other than the whatever the norm is, quote unquote norm, everyone takes it as hate. You already know this. They're like, and they'll clip it because they'll be like, ooh, someone hating on Wayne, this will go viral. Yeah.
But the funny thing is, we're gonna get to the other piece of it as well. But like the shortened version I saw of it was actually not as bad as the longer version. The longer version, he really goes into detail. When I say bad, I don't actually mean bad. I mean bad if you're a Wayne stan and can't hear the truth that while Wayne is one of the great rappers of all time, he rarely stood for anything. That is a fact. That is an undeniable fact. You can rewrite history all you want. He was awesome. Not everyone is Chuck D or KRS-One.
Then there's this. Off the mic, he really stood for nothing.
Yeah.
In an interview about Black Lives Matter or Mike Brown, I mean, if you want to get let down by one of your legends, just ask Lil Wayne a question about something important in society. Like, he'll be like, come on, bro.
Didn't he say he said he never experienced racism?
Bro, I just looked yesterday. I was like, he was asked about Black Lives Matter, and he was basically like, my life matters. As long as my bitches say my life matters. Excuse me?
Yeah.
No, it was Ebro. That was in the throes. That was in the throes of protest and the height of Black Lives Matter. He completely punted on it altogether. If Wayne cared half as much about Black lives and about issues that matter as he did about not playing the Super Bowl, he'd be really brave. But he's never spoke about anything unrelated to
Well, and
himself.
I wonder what people are saying in the chat, because I was watching Rasan, and shout out to Joe who's in the building right now. I was looking at their physical response to what I just said about asking him a question in an interview and how he's responded. And they literally put their hands over their faces. And I'm not sure if that's because I wasn't supposed to point that out or they're embarrassed for Lil Wayne. Like, I'm not sure if people don't want to tell the truth about Lil Wayne. I love Lil Wayne, man. He's a great artist. He's made great music. I had zero expectation that he was going to get out on records and like take a political stand. Like, that wasn't something I looked to Lil Wayne for. He's great. But I also hear what LaRussell is saying. I hear what he's saying. And if you watch the clip, he's saying, I love Lil Wayne. But as I matured, I realized that he wasn't really talking about nothing. I saw the damage that was done to people who were standing him and trying to be like him. You know what I'm saying? And he even gave Lil Wayne credit for saying some things on some songs, because there are songs in Lil Wayne's catalog that are about mental health, about his drug addiction, about what happened to him as a child, about what's going on in New Orleans, about the Hurricane Katrina. Like, he's definitely spoke on things in songs. It's just his stuff that is about nothing or debauchery outweighs that piece of his catalog. And I think that people want to grade him on a curve because they're fans.
Agreed.
And for LaRussell, I think what LaRussell is saying now that he's an artist, he wants to be different. I think that's really where this comes from. It's him saying, wow, somebody I looked up to, the reason I rap and I looked up to this person, I realized this person wasn't saying a lot.
Yeah.
And I want to say something. And I want to handle this moment the right way.
Right.
Now, LaRussell jumped back on the internet. We got his second piece.
In the industry, it's two forms of marketing that's used heavily. It's seeding and it's clipping. These two things have been monumental and beneficial to artists like myself as well, because whenever I have a viral moment, I'm able to mass distribute the moment to the world. On the flip side of that, most of these places don't have no integrity. Yesterday, probably like 20, 30 platforms across Instagram and Twitter all posted the same clip of me at the same time with the same narrative. And the title says, LaRussell says this about Lil Wayne after signing to Jay-Z. What the f*** that got to do with anything? That's somebody with a budget in content in the narrative saying, hey, go run this. I love Wayne. Man, I wouldn't be the rapper I am today without. He inspired me to do so much. He inspired me to have bars. But he also inspired me to smoke weed, sip lean, shoot guns, all those things. And I turned out great.
Now, it's very interesting. He jumped back on, I'm a proponent, an advocate for this type of talk, especially when it comes to marketing budgets and narratives on the internet, because I've been bodied for years. I've been bodied from the Tekashi 6ix9ines. I've been bodied by the Barbs. I've been bodied by OVO. I've been the academics machine loves to get they start the engine on me. And all of these blogs simultaneously, like he's saying, run with something. Where you'll be like, yo, all of y'all posted it at the same time? Which for me, I like the marketing. But I think LaRussell kicked the hornet's nest. He got the trifecta. Because you talked about Lil Wayne. So you're going to get the OVOs on you, you're going to get the Barbs on you. You signed to Jay-Z, Rock Nation. The Hove hate? Oh, man.
The boogeyman.
That's the trifecta. So you got the Hove haters, you got the Barbs, and the OVOs. They coming for you. The Owls, the Barbs.
I will say he did say something that was very interesting that I saw moving around, how certain outlets all kind of
move in concert.
Right. And I was really trying to look for this last night because there was, I don't know if it was Isaac Hayes the third or I don't remember who was it, who made a video where he basically was showing everyone who owns what. And I think that's very important because a lot of people really think that a lot of these outlets, well, some people think they're Black owned.
That's right.
Which is not true. Some people think that they're actually ran by like real journalists. Not true.
No.
Or maybe at one point they were, but then they got sold. That's another thing that's happening. But it's really important to see how a lot of these outlets, like who owns them, who's pushing the narrative. Because I'm not the only one. We've seen a lot of these outlets like Rap. There's one is @Rap. And then you see them start pushing like right-wing content. And you're like, where is this coming from? And that's happening with a lot of outlets. That's something to pay attention to.
Well, listen, I agree with all of this. I'm interested in all of it. I do think that LaRussell's response was a little bit, I don't want to say it was disingenuous, but it's also, he spoke about, LaRussell's been gaining popularity, and he spoke an interesting point about one of the most popular and talked about an interesting artist that there is. And it was a very compelling point. And we live in a time when he's right. Everyone does everything for clicks. I don't know if there was some organized plan to create backlash against LaRussell, much as we just know how these places operate, and he gave them very easy clickbait, and he's right. These places have no morals. If they see an opportunity, they are cutting the clip and they are running with it. But like he did walk it back a tad.
Right, but what he pointed out wasn't the blowback. It was the headline. It was, they were saying because basically he signed to Rock Nation, now he's got something negative to say about Lil Wayne.
Oh yeah, that part's nonsense. That part's straight nonsense. Yeah.
When you look at it through that lens of like, wait a minute, I was just talking about Lil Wayne. The larger narrative is, oh, I gotta hate on Lil Wayne now that I'm signed to Rock Nation because Jay-Z doesn't like Lil Wayne because Jay-Z didn't let him play at the Super Bowl. That's what he's pointing out.